Hey everyone! This week I had a few different people reach out to me saying that they either were fostering or had recently adopted a kitten who had tested positive for FIV. In one of these cases, a foster parent told me that the organization they were fostering through would not adopt out a kitten who had tested positive for FIV. What? 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 No. No. So I wanted to make a video all about what it really means when a kitten tests positive for FIV, and it's not what you think. When a cat or kitten is being prepared for adoption, some organizations will elect to do a FIV test. FIV stands for feline immunodeficiency virus, and when a kitten tests positive on an FIV test, you might assume that means the kitten has FIV, but not so fast. There are some really important things you should know about the efficacy of FIV tests in young kittens. Come here. You can come here. Oh, Coco. Coco decided to join me. The first thing you should know is that the FIV SNAP test doesn't actually test for the presence of FIV. What? It's true. The FIV SNAP test, it's looking for the presence of antibodies. When your body's exposed to a virus, it develops antibodies to fight the virus off. Same thing happens when you're vaccinated. After you get your vaccine, your body develops antibodies to fight off the virus in the future. So what's happening when you see a positive result on an FIV test is it's just telling you that there are FIV antibodies present in the cat. In a kitten, it's much more misleading than you would think, because at a young age, kittens can still have maternal antibodies they got from their mom. It's not at all uncommon for kittens to have FIV antibodies from their mom, but it's actually extremely rare for them to get true FIV from their mom. We have to remember where most rescued kittens come from, right? If you recently adopted a young kitten from a rescue or shelter, chances are they came from the street. 80% of kittens in the United States are born outside to free-roaming community cats. And when cats live outside in close quarters with other cats and they're not spayed and neutered, it's unfortunately not uncommon for those cats to be exposed to FIV. So people are scooping these kittens up from outdoors, and it might be the fact that the mama cat did truly have FIV. When mama cat has FIV, there's a decent likelihood that one or some or even all of her kittens will inherit the antibodies during the first weeks or months of life. Those maternal antibodies wear off over the first 6 months. And that is why the recommendation is to retest the kitten at 6 months of age. In my case, I've had lots of different kittens test positive for FIV when they were babies, and I've literally never in 12 years of doing rescue had one test positive when they are retested at 6 months. The reason being, their maternal antibodies wore off. Okay, so you might be thinking, well, maybe if a kitten tests positive for FIV, it's maternal antibodies, or maybe it's that they really were exposed, right? Well, maybe, it's certainly possible, but I will tell you the reason that it is so uncommon for very young kittens to have FIV is because the overwhelming majority of FIV transmission occurs through deep bite wounds, which are most common during aggressive fighting and during sexual intercourse. Neither of which are particularly common when you're just a couple weeks old, right? The younger the kitten is, the less likely it is that they've been engaging in any alley brawls with other cats, and the less likely it is that they've been engaged in any kind of sexual activity. So when we're talking about rescuing a kitten off the street who's just a couple of weeks old, the chances that they've been truly exposed to FIV are very low. Now, it's totally understandable to me that it can be confusing and scary when a kitten tests positive for FIV, but what I want to say to you is if they're a very young kitten who's under 6 months of age, chances are that when they're retested at 6 months, they're going to be negative. The FIV test is so inaccurate in young kittens that many organizations don't test at all until the kitten is 6 months of age because it's just not telling you very much about the kitten. So if we're talking about a young kitten, chances are they're going to retest negative at 6 months of age. But even if they do retest positive, I want you to know that that is not the end of the world at all. FIV positive cats can live long, happy, healthy lives, and they can cohabitate with cats who are negative for FIV, as long as everybody is spayed and neutered and coexisting peacefully. So a positive FIV test should never be a reason to delay adoption of a young kitten. I think once a kitten is 8 weeks old and spayed and neutered, it's important for them to go to their forever home, because that's a great age for bonding with the new family, for bonding with new animals, for getting acquainted with the new routine. We want kittens to have that opportunity and not be held up in a shelter or at a foster home just because they tested positive for FIV. And even if they retest positive, I mean, it should not have an impact on the adoption. My organization has adopted out so many kittens who have tested positive for FIV and then have tested negative later on, including in one case, a kitten who tested positive for FIV and her sister tested negative, and we adopted them out together because, again, it's really no big deal for an FIV positive and FIV negative cat to be cohabitating. And of course, in that case, she didn't have FIV anyway. Could have told you that. So I hope that that helps you understand FIV testing in kittens a little bit and why a positive FIV test in a kitten is truly, truly, truly no big deal.